Just a quick warning that we will be discussing heavy themes like pregnancy loss, abortion, religion, suicide, abusive dynamics, and as always, the big existential questions. This is an unbleeped version of our thoughts as they come to us.
Hello and welcome to A Hopeless Endeavor, a Joanna Newsom podcast. My name is Sam. I live in Vancouver.
And I'm Nikki. I live in Ithaca. So welcome to part 5, the final part of Only Skin.
We did it,
so
you
I
guys.
declare.
How many hours of recording was this?
Dude, it was 4 per recording session, so this was 8 hours of Only Skin. I was talking to my partner today, and he was like, what episode are you doing? And I was like, we're releasing like Only Skin. And he was like, didn't you do that? And I was like, yeah, like it's part 5. And he was like, wait, like an hour per episode? And I was like, yeah, like an hour and a half-ish per episode. And he like just looked at me as like, are you crazy? Like, why would you think anyone would want to listen to 8 hours of you talking about Only Skin? But you know, you guys have shown up for us. Thank you if you're here.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. We so appreciate it. So enjoy this, what is probably the final part of Only Skin.
We think so. And you know what? Congratulations to you as well. If
Really?
you are here with us.
Yeah.
You've made it through some shit. So enjoy. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okie dokie. Are we at the cities?
Go for it.
And the cities we passed were a flickering wasteland, but his hand in my hand made them hale and harmless. While down in the lowlands, the crops are all coming. We have everything. Life is thundering, blissful towards death in a stampede of his fumbling green gentleness.
I have always thought of this is like a very ironic, we have everything, because the way that she sings it is overwhelming.
Yes.
We have everything.
Yes. Her voice almost shakes a little bit on the everything.
And then we have like the reference, like we have lightning and thunder now too. Life is thundering, blissful towards death.
Right. In a stampede. There's like this image to me of these like contrasting forces again. So there's this like resentment and like ill will and frustration that we've had towards the you in this song. But then she's also she has this tenderness for him still when she's describing his fumbling green gentleness. Like it's not always threatening and it's not always bad, and it's not this very like black and white thing where you can just say like this person is all bad. She still has this fondness for him.
And I mean, we're going to get to the blameless flames very soon. So she's not holding any of this against him, is my impression. I also just love...
At least not in the long run.
Yes.
Like at least not all things considered. Maybe in the moment she is, but when she has a chance to step back, she's definitely, or not definitely, but probably not.
Yeah, I also love this like comparison of the wasteland of cities versus the lowlands, the crops, the fumbling green gentleness of the hills as well. Like it makes me think of Monkey and Bear leaving the farm, leaving humanity and taking off for this promised land that may or may not exist.
Right.
And this kind of like holding a light up to what it is that cities really are, and how people might behave differently there as compared to in the countryside. Like I know we said like the shallowness versus the deepness of the water in the song holds some meaning there too. Like you have some space in the countryside that you don't in the city.
Right. And like it, as you said, like the contrasting of the wasteland with the crops are all coming with the fumbling green gentleness. It like sort of maybe indicates that it ebbs and flows between those two kinds of having space in the relationship and having like franticness and then having space again, or like nurturingness again versus coldness. Also on Genius it says that about the cities we pass were a flickering wasteland. It says that this line recalls the wartime imagery of the opening lines while alluding to both The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot, a poem often regarded as one of the finest of the 20th century. And then also by using the landscape as a metaphor, as you were saying, Sam, for her own relationship. Joanna notes its fleeting on again, off again status. Okay, so I'd also wanted to read
Rachel Hoddle.
Thank you so much. A part of the essay from Rachel Hoddle. Jesus. That I thought was really cool about the bird part. So she writes, indeed, the song seems to continue in the narrator's house, in the narrator's home, albeit in the past, as she describes a bird colliding with a window. The vocal texture changes here dramatically, as the second half of each line of the B section is set against a chorus of multi-tracked backing vocals, giving the section a fantastic otherworldly feel. This is not our first encounter with the motif of a distraught bird unease. In Sawdust and Diamonds, a taxidermied dove represented, in turn, the narrator herself as well as her doomed relationship. The dying bird is also a powerful motif in Kate Chopin's The Awakening, a striking parallel considering the prevalence of women entering water imagery on Ys. In The Awakening, a bird with a broken wing descends to its death in the ocean, foreshadowing the drowning by suicide of the novel's protagonist. It is not difficult to read the parable in these B and C sections as a dramatic retelling of what occurred between the narrator and her addressee earlier in the song. Just as her loved one came to her in terror, this small bird appears at her home in need of her help. She comforts her loved one by likening their fear to a toothless hound dog and tells the bird that she will keep it safe from the dogs that would harm it. The beginning of the C-section in both instances coincides with the decisive action by the narrator in the first C-section. She takes her fishing pole and goes on a journey. In the second C, she takes the bird and sets off through the woods. So I guess musically speaking, there is a similarity between this section where she is going off with her fishing pole to the, like, fearing the dude's fever, and then when she's taking the bird and setting off into the woods, there's this similar, like, hey, I am on this endeavor now to, like, go help whatever being is in question.
Right. No, that makes sense.
And it also kind of makes me think of one other, like, layer here with the bird stuff where, like, it's almost this, like, transference of, like, nurturing energy. So, like, if she's not going to be taking care of the dude, she's like, well, I need to find something to take care of. So she might be describing this kind of, like, part of herself that is just made in a way, or, like, you know, shaped by society in a way that causes her to want to nurture. And even though she might be resentful of it sometimes, like, it's also a part of her. And so it's hard to navigate all of these all of these different themes.
For sure, but I like that transference of energy from him to like the fishing one is interesting, and then to the bird, like, what does the bird have to do with him? Is it him? It's interesting anyway.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll just edit that part in when we were actually talking about the bird stuff, and we can get back to the wasteland and beyond stuff.
No worries.
Yeah, the life is thundering blissful towards death part 2 here. I think I'd said this last time. Like, it is sort of like a different tone that the narrator seems to be adopting, in contrast with what she was, like, trying to convince her partner of at the beginning of the song, which is like, alive you will evermore be. And now she's like, nope. We're, like, real talk here. We're thundering blissful towards death.
And when I, like, sing this to myself. It's like I have my fists balled up beside my head. Like you're holding on to that hope that life is thundering blissful towards death. But I don't really believe it. There's like an irony there that I don't. Yeah, I touched the.
Is the part that you don't believe the blissful part? Or okay.
I believe life is thundering towards death, most certainly. But is it blissful in its thundering? I don't buy into that, but I'm also quite the pessimist. So
right. It also might, like, not to be a one trick pony or like, I don't know. I'm so bad at expressions and yet I want to use them all the time.
You used it
blowing
correctly.
One note.
Did you say one note
okay.
pony?
No, I said like blowing one note, but that is not an expression. That's a weird thing to say.
I was there with you.
Thank you. So whatever that expression is, it makes me think of a kind of like suicidal thing too. If you're thundering blissful towards death, it might not be that you're enjoying the ride. It could instead be that you're like, I'm fucking fine with the fact that we're gonna die because this shit is hard. Yeah.
No, for sure. And also
stampede of this fun.
And like the suicidal ideation of everything that we touched on before. And also too, like the idea that like if there is some kind of something in a womb here, life might be blissful inside of that, but the second that you leave the womb, life is thundering towards death, blissful or not.
Yep. Also, do you know offhand what it means to describe something as green? Is it just like naive?
Oh, I looked it up so much when I read that Margaret Atwood paper.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
What episode was that even for? Green, the color of life, renewal, energy, and nature is associated with meanings of growth, harmony, freshness, safety, fertility, and environment. And then a bunch of shit to do with money and jealousy and ambition and greed.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, to like in a slang way, green it means like you're kind of like a noob, like you don't know a lot about something.
You're a noob, yeah. Right. Yeah, his fumbling green gentleness. It's unclear if we're supposed to think it's sort of like a naive gentleness or if it's rather just this like nature-y, like uncorrupt and just like nice gentleness that he has that's like at the core of his being when it's not being overshadowed by all sorts of different factors that are like fucking up their relationship, right? It's almost like it gives me the feeling that like when they can get down to being who they actually are without all of this outside shit that often does like really affect relationships, that's when they can like see each other and meet each other and be there and love each other. But then there's all this other confounding shit, societal shit, interpersonal shit that gets in the way.
And like I think it was earlier in this episode where you were describing him as having his hands in his pockets with these kind of like shruggy shoulders, and it was kind of like an innocent, like I don't know kind of look, and it makes me think of that too. That kind of greenness.
Totally. And actually that along with the hale and harmless part, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like innocent and just being like like I'm not like on purpose being bad.
Yeah. Which I believe, but you know, we all have our boulders to push up the mountain endlessly.
Yeah. Shall we continue?
Yes, please. I love it.
Okie dokie. Me too. You go ahead.
Next is you stopped by. I was all alive. In my doorway, we shucked and jived. And when you wept, I was gone, See, I got gone when I got wise, but I can't with certainty say we survived. I'm going to stop there.
Yeah. It's really sad, Sam.
I don't know. I kind of like this one as, like, I started as at I was all alive. So to me, that is kind of like this is their final attempt. She is more aware of herself than she's ever been. She is literally all alive. Like, she's awake. She's more fully recognizing herself when she looks in that mirror, she sees what's really happening. And
she's like listening to parts of herself that were
exactly
asleep.
She's listening to that heart that she hadn't been earlier. It is very sad for sure, but he stops by.
It's empowering too.
Yeah. He stops by in their doorway. In my doorway, we shucked and jive. I either take that to mean as like they are kind of like doing this dance around should we, shouldn't we, or it's like a final like lovemaking scene, or like some kind of like last ditch effort to hold on to that pleasure. And then and when you wept, I was gone. So instead of, I feel like the rest of the song has been him leaving her or him needing her, but now it's him who is crying. She is the one who has left. See, I got gone when I got wise. So she's finally able to like represent her needs. But I can't with certainty say like, we survived. They didn't.
Either of us.
Yes.
Well, there's like the surviving of the couple, which I don't think happened. And then there's the surviving of each person as they were when the separation occurred, right? And like, oh God, I've so had that feeling of having broken up with someone and being like, well, that was a death. That was a death of who I used to be. And like, I have to reinvent myself in this way. Also, I feel, so I also, I agree with you that the all alive, I think, is very much what you said. I am like aware and in tune with myself in a way that I haven't been. Also, just the feeling of being like, you know, when you have like a crush on someone and they're like in the room and you're like, oh my God, I'm so buzzing, like vibrating with life. Yeah, exactly. So it kind of has that like double entendre to me there. In my door, we shucked and jived. I also sort of think of that as being like having like maybe a sexual undertone, but also I feel compelled to mention that I think some people criticize this line as being a racist one, or at least, if not racist, just racially insensitive, because at least in the States, so we're both Canadian, and I had never heard this term before. Jenny, so also we're both white.
Important note there.
Right. So according to Wikipedia, shuckin' and jivin', the entry for shuckin' and jivin', it says, in African American culture, shuckin' and jivin', or shucking and jiving, is joking and acting evasively in the presence of an authoritative figure. Shuckin' and jivin' usually involves clever lies and impromptu storytelling used to one-up an opponent or avoid punishment. Its origin, according to the linguist Barbara Ann Kipfer, the origins of the phrase may be traced to when black slaves sang and shouted gleefully during corn shucking season, and this behavior, along with lying and teasing, became a part of the protective and evasive behavior normally adopted toward white people. So yeah, like given that we're both just white people, and I think like the best thing to do is just to defer to the opinions of people who are not white people, particularly black people, telling us that that's not a term that white people should be using. So she probably just shouldn't have used it.
And you know what? That's so interesting because I looked up the words shucked and jived separately, but I didn't think to look them up together. And I never would have known that if you hadn't mentioned it. So I really appreciate you saying that. I would have never.
I never knew it until the Facebook group, and then like American people were like bringing everybody else's attention to it, saying like, look, This is a thing that maybe you shouldn't say if you're a white
No,
person.
thank you for them. I will not.
And then, but like taking her at what she might have meant there, like we avoided whatever consequence we knew that we were going to have to face, I guess. Like we were just trying to sort of maybe distract ourselves for one last time. And then in my head, at least, I think like what you said, he starts throwing a temper tantrum or something. He starts crying. He's upset. And then she's like, peace, I'm done. Yeah. I always thought back before like the internet was like a prevalent thing that I could just look up like how to pronounce East on. I very much pronounced the album Wise, like for whatever, a long
I don't hate
ass
that
time.
either.
I know, me either. And I very much thought like and just totally made up in my head that this line, I got gone when I got wise, is like where she was like taking the play of the title Wise from the album. But turns out I made that all up because it is not pronounced that way.
Genius also drew a connection to another Nabokov line. I'm reasonably sure that will survive, though I don't know which work that would have been from.
Pale
Fire again. Okay, which is next on my reading.
I only know that just because, yeah, right. I can't wait for you to read that. I want you to text me like throughout the whole time.
I have 2 weeks before university's back, so then now or never.
But knowing you will read like 28 books tomorrow. So
we will see. It's hard to need some brain breaks too. Some good K-dramas in between.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready for the next one?
I am. Go ahead.
I'm going to go all the way up to All My Bones,
Ooh,
which
okay.
is nuts.
Okay.
Okay. Then down and down and down and down and down and deeper. Stoke without sound the blameless flames, you endless sleeper. Through fire below and fire above and fire within. Sleep through the things that couldn't have been if you had not been. And when the fire moves away, son. Why would you say I was the last one?
I think the biggest takeaway, 2 big takeaways from this for me are the blameless flames. So these fires that he is starting, she doesn't blame him for it. Like either she can see the source of the fire, she knows it well, or
Right.
she just doesn't hold him to a fault for that. And then also the endless sleeper. And this to me was like he's sleeping while he's sleeping while the world burns, while his world burns. So is this like the fires of his own desire burns the shit down? If you're sleeping, you're unbothered. So you're not getting burnt. They're not burning you.
Right. Right.
But he's sleeping through so much of this.
Yeah. And there's this like sleep theme that's been going on right throughout the whole thing where at the beginning of the song, it could have been that his sleep is the thing that like caused him danger and like she needed to calm him down because of the shit that goes on in his sleep. But then there's also this sort of vibe that I get. I don't know if I'm just making this up, but like this vibe of like maybe he's not literally sleeping and maybe he's just dead to it all. He's like closed himself off to it all. And so in this very like masculine kind of way, right? This like stereotypical like macho, I am immune to emotion and I am immune to like being moved by the same things as like you woman folk are, right? And like interestingly here too, she's saying, so in Monkey and Bear, when we were talking about Bear going spelunking, we were talking about like maybe it's symbolic of like she's cool with going spelunking down in these caves and Monkey's afraid of getting to that kind of depth. So it's like this like very feminine energy, cool with going like beyond just the surface level and going deeper and deeper, and this masculine energy in the monkey just being afraid to go there, to even start going there.
Right.
And I kind of get that similar vibe here where like she's going down and down and down and down and down and deeper into like emotional shit and like digging into like the whatever emotional part of the relationship. And he's not. He's sleeping.
Yeah. I hear all of that.
Yeah.
I had also read in my first like deep analysis of this one, like stoke as stroke. And then was like, was thinking of like the bobbing and sucking that was happening in the river earlier. And then went back, the zillionth time was like, oh, it's stoke, like stoking the flames.
Right. Without sound too. That's so interesting.
So, well, he's sleeping.
Like, he's sleeping, right? So yeah, it like makes me think that like that sleeping is the source of a bunch of tension in their relationship, right? And so it's like without doing a fucking thing, like that is the very thing that's stoking the flames of this. And also interestingly, like too, where with Gianna, it's often very unclear what it's not this like as you say, Sam, like it's not as though you can say like for Joanna, fire represents this and this alone. So like there's this sort of ambiguity between like, does fire here, is it like at some point I think it's desire throughout this song, but then here it seems like a very destructive force. It seems not to be a good thing, right? He's stoking these destructive flames. Yeah, right. To call them blameless is like means that like one might be tempted to attribute blame to it, which doesn't make sense for desire.
What is then down and down and down and down and down and deeper?
Like where?
Like the depth of the, is it like the depth of the water that they were in before? But I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like the depths of this relationship, maybe. Like maybe we just kept fucking going. It kept going to shit, maybe. I don't know. But this is another one of those lines where like she repeats it, a thing that she doesn't do that often.
And it feels like it's like a whirlpool pulling us down with her too, right? Like are we hitting rock bottom with her right now? Like
right.
As
totally.
We go.
Yes.
I do really like the line, sleep through the things that couldn't have been if you hadn't have been. It's like she knows that we know and we know and they know and he knows and you know and we know that we know that you know.
Yes. Yeah, totally. I love this line too. And like the idea that like you've created this fucking mess. This fucking mess would not have existed had you not existed, and you're going to sleep through it.
How dare you?
Like, fuck you. Yeah, man, that's rude.
Yeah. And then
go ahead. Like interestingly then she's talking about the fire moving away. So here it's like, okay, the destructive force has moved away, or like the passion of their relationship, or like both. Like kind of like once the smoke is cleared, you like see things in a different light. Like I'm not sure exactly. And he's sung again.
Is it her physically moving herself away from the fire? Or is it just like she's recognizing, like acknowledging the size of the flames and in acknowledging this burning world, it makes them smaller? I have the note, he leaves and he takes his fires with him. Like,
yeah. But then why does he say that she's the last one?
I was texting with our incredible friend Alicia while going through these lines yesterday, and she tied this verse specifically to a few lines from Go Long. Who made you this way? Who made you this way? Who is going to bear you beautiful children? Do you think you can just stop when you're ready for a change? Who will take care of you when you're old and dying? And I do feel like those questions can apply to like, why would you say I was the last one?
When you knew I wasn't?
When you knew I wasn't, or like you had promised me all of this and you're giving it to someone else, or you're just taking it away.
Right.
Or even like, why would you say I was the last one that you would do this to? I don't know.
Right. It always makes me, it's not that I think that this interpretation is in the song at all, but like just the line itself, why would you say I was the last, or like that I was the last one? Like I want to finish that sentence with to know, like the last one to know. But I don't think that that's exactly what's going on here. I think it's like, yeah, the last one maybe that you'd be with,
Yeah.
or the last one that, yeah, like you said, I would do this to.
I think
don't know.
more likely that I was the last one. Like we would be together forever. Like we would be each
Yeah,
other's
me too.
last.
Right. Me too. But then, like, her asking him this, why would you say this, indicates that, like, she thinks that he knew better.
Yes. Yeah.
That whatever it is that made him go away, like, you shouldn't have fucking said that to me in the first
Yeah,
place.
exactly.
We were on different pages.
Yeah. Well,
How do we do this next part? It's so hard.
this is like the last page of my notes, and it's almost all lyrics because I don't know what to say to so much of this. It is a musically a beautiful, beautiful. Is it only a duet? Is it just her and Smog?
Yes. Yeah. And Bill Callahan.
Yeah. All my bones, they are gone, gone, gone. Take my bones, I don't need none. Cold, cold cupboard, Lord, nothing to chew on. Suck all day on a cherry stone. Dig a little hole, not 3 inches round. Spit your pit in a hole in the ground. Weep upon the spot for the starving of me, till upgrows a fine young cherry tree. When the bough breaks, what'll you make for me? A little willow cabin to rest on your knee. Well, what will I do with a trinket such as this? Think of your woman who's gone to the west. But I'm starving and freezing in my measly old bed. Then I'll crawl across the salt flats to stroke your sweet head. Come across the desert with no shoes on. I love you truly, or I love no one.
It's so good.
Yeah.
This part too to sing is just a trip.
The way that she sings "Weep" is rough.
It is rough, man. Weep. Oh my God, it's so good.
And I think the general idea that I take from here is just like this realization that she was willing to give literally everything she has to him, to the relationship. She takes, he gives. She gives, he takes, she gives, he sleeps. She's left with that cherry stone that she plants again, so it's not like entirely fruitless.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on there. Take my bones, like take everything.
Yeah, take everything. Oh my God. So like the first line, all my bones that are gone, 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 makes me think of just like the skeletal imagery that's been happening throughout the I mean, I guess throughout the album, but like a lot in Emily, like the bones of the birches, just like this like very skeletal, but like also just bringing to mind the core of a person. And she's saying like all of the core of me is fucking gone.
Yeah.
Like I have spent it on this relationship, on like what we've, not even just the relationship, like what we've been through. But then the next line, take my bones, I don't need none. She's like, it feels in the same spirit as the like, I wasn't born of a whistle nor milk from a thistle. It feels
Sure,
like
yeah.
rebellious and empowering. She's like, fine, if this is the way that it's gonna be, like, take them then. Take it from me. Yeah. She's hungry just as Bear was.
Which kills me.
I
Like
know.
Bear got those minnows, which may or may not have been a good thing. I've changed my opinion on that a couple times. But she's sucking all day on a cherry stone.
It's not satisfying.
But is distracting.
It's distracting. Yeah, exactly. It's like something you can put in your mouth in the place of food, right? Something that if you're hungry, like sort of like chewing gum, you can just be like, well, it's something at least, right? And I feel like that is the like just remnants of their whatever relationship
Yeah.
that she's like trying to suck as much
Life from.
life
Yeah.
out of.
And it's like you
Yeah.
said at the beginning, there was like the stone fruit freshly cut that was like this
Yeah.
whole meal. And this is what's left.
Yes. Oh my God. And then she digs a little hole and like interestingly, your here is interesting. So she digs a little hole not 3 inches around, spit your pit in a hole in the ground. So she's the one I think who's been sucking all day on the cherry stone.
Yeah.
And she says, spit your pit. Like, here's your shit that I'm going to spit out. I'm done with it. In a hole in the ground. I mean, alternatively, she could be saying like one sucks all day on a cherry stone and one spits one's pit into a hole in the ground. But I don't know.
I wonder too if it's like she's gonna hold if they're each sucking on a pit, is she gonna hold on to hers? She still has it, and she's going to use what's left of their relationship, that is the pit, in his mouth to grow this fine young cherry tree. Like she's not willing to give up what she has left, but she's like, just I'll take this from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the bough of the cherry tree,
Like for the first time,
Yes.
right? The first thing that she might be taking from him.
which isn't very much
ever in this whole
like,
song. No, it's puny and shitty and something she already had. Like, it's not useful.
Exactly, but maybe that's all she can take too, right? Like
Yeah.
this guy has empty
And-
pockets.
Right, exactly. This guy has empty pockets. And it could be too that like she's coming to this like realization, like in keeping with this like sort of rebellious music, this marching sort of militant music.
Yes. Yeah.
Crescendoing shit, that like she's like, I don't actually need more. I don't need anything from you. Like I've got my own back. Yeah. Maybe at least.
I love the reference of the bough breaks off of the cherry tree and he makes her what I imagine to be this tiny little cabin to rest on your knee. And she's like, what am I supposed to do with this trinket?
Right.
Like, this doesn't help me. This does nothing for me. What, are we going to live in this tiny little trinket of a cabin? No, you burn shit down. Like,
you burned shit down. Exactly. And this is so like throughout the song, we sort of feel her getting more and more frustrated with him, more and more like less and less willing to put up with his shit. And then we get to this part and she's finally like, it seems as though she's speaking it, right? She's saying like, what the fuck do I do with this? Like, I'm exasperated now. I have no more patience left for this. I'm going to vocalize to you why this is ridiculous.
and like, give it to your woman in the West. I don't need this.
Right.
And
Yeah,
maybe
it's
that's not what it
exactly.
is.
I need something more substantive. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, just back for one sec to the weep upon the spot for the starving
yeah.
of me part makes me think of the like when you wept, I was gone, I got God when I got wise. Like she's like not quite making fun of him, but she's being like, I don't care, cry where you're standing because I'm starving. Like, oh, poor you, you're dying because I'm starving. Like, no, like I need something else other than just your sympathy. Like your sympathy does nothing for me. Do that and I don't care about it.
I also
It's dismissive in a way that I like.
no, I totally get that. And like, water this tree that will feed me with your tears.
Right? Yeah, right. Exactly. Totally. And then I can talk to you. Once there are cherries for me to eat, then we can maybe talk about me having sympathy for you.
And you know what? It makes me sad in the sense that like she kind of gets this reprisal that Bear doesn't get. She kind of gets to speak her mind. And Bear never got that, regardless of how we think Monkey and Bear ended.
That's such a good point, Sam. She gets a voice. Yeah.
And I also love to picture the little willow cabin that he makes as being like the size of like a keychain or something. Like him
To rest on your knee.
him presenting this to her as like, ta-da! Saying like, no.
It's a weird, like, makes me think of like scrape your knee.
Mhm.
It is only skin. Just because like bringing up a knee here is weird, right? I mean, you picture like an old man maybe carving a thing out of wood or something, but it's a weird thing to mention specifically.
Mhm.
She's starving and freezing in her measly old bed.
Yeah. Well, the fire's gone. Of course she's freezing.
The fire's gone. The fucking cabin is gone or
Yeah,
whatever, the house. She's freezing in her tiny little old bed. But like still kind of confusingly, but maybe not. She's still devoted to him. So she's not saying fuck you forever. She's just saying like smarten up.
Yeah.
Like I need shit from you that you're not providing me. But she's not giving up on
No,
him.
she's
Because she's crawling across the salt flats to stroke his sweet head. She still loves
coming
him.
across the desert with no shoes on. I love you truly, or I love no one. It's
Yeah.
that comparison of all or nothing.
Right. Oh,
Oh, I have a note.
I love you truly or I love no one is such a nice way of saying that you love someone. Like
Yeah.
either I love you or I don't know what love
Yeah.
is. So like I love you. And sorry, you have
I
a note.
from Savina, who just said that this whole section reminds her of the origin story of Narnia, wherein the protagonist picks an apple from Narnia, feeds it to his sick mother, curing her, plants a seed, and from there grows a tree, and from that tree he builds the titular wardrobe, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I think was just a nice little note. I don't remember those books as well as I probably should.
I have not read them embarrassingly.
Oh, I did when I was younger. And then our next one is. Are you ready?
Yeah, okay. To read the next lines, you mean?
Yeah, this is the end.
I'm so sad though. I'm so sad. Okay. Fire moves away. Actually, let me just introduce this because I forget sometimes that it's helpful in when I edit to have an introduction. So, okay. And then she writes, fire moves away. Fire moves away, son. Why would you say I was the last one? Last one. Clear the room. There's a fire, a fire, a fire. Get going. And I'm going to be right behind you. And if the love of a woman or two, dear, could move you to such heights, then all I can do is do, my darling, right by you. So one thing that I know about, she says the very last part of Only Skin, which I assume to reference this part. She doesn't say the specific lines, but in my head at least, it's probably from Clear the Room to the end. She said, it is the only part of the album that is not autobiographical. She was like, this is the only part where I did not know how to end this song because there was no resolution to me. This was still like too much my life that I didn't have enough I just didn't know how to end it. And so she was saying that like this is the only part that is not autobiographical, and she kind of just made this part up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the repetition of the why would you say I was the last one? Last one.
Yeah. She's like fixated on that.
Yeah.
Not quite over it.
And it's like they're just realizing that shit's on fire now. Clear the room! Exclamation point. There's a fire,
Right.
a fire, a fire. Get going.
Right.
I'm going to be right behind you. She still lets him out first, which is annoying to me.
Exactly. Oh my God, totally. Even though she's had this rebellious, empowered revelation that was this brilliant last section that we just talked about, she still kind of falls back into these old habits. I mean, also this could just not be chronological. We could maybe this is just like a callback to what it was like before, but I think it might still represent that this is not like I'm washing my hands clean of this now. It's still going to be this ebbing and flowing and cyclical whatever, in the way that real relationships are. You can have these empowered moments and then fall back into your old patterns.
And I also noted here, Is it that, like, does she tell him to go first because she can't be the one to take that step? Or is it that,
Right.
like, she won't believe that he will actually go until she sees him,
Right.
like, cross that threshold?
Right. Right. I didn't think of that before, but that's a good question. And then I like the idea of the love of a woman or two. Yeah. Like, fuck you, or two. Dear, could move you to such heights. Like, so such heights as what? As in contrast with the down, down, down,
Yeah.
deeper.
And also the bird that she had to bring to such heights.
Right. To such, right. So, like, and if the love of a woman or two, dear, could, like, free you or make you more alive or confident or whatever, she's almost accepting it. She's almost like, fine, then sleep with two women. And I'll just be right behind you in this other way. Like, I'll just do right by you. That's what I'm resigning myself to, because I don't know what else to do. I don't know how else to navigate this relationship.
Yeah. And also could move you to such heights. Like, if it could bring you or us so close to that stone cold space that bird was in, all I can do, my darling. And she still calls him dear and darling at the end too, right? Like,
Yeah.
they're not entirely separate.
She loves
she
him.
does. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And also just like all of this. So like these two lines or verses, I guess, like set next to each other. So fire moves away, son. Then right after she's saying clear the room, there's a fire. So like in one, the fire's going away. In the next, the fire is here.
Back, yeah.
And so it's this, again, this metaphor that contains both badness and goodness within the same metaphor. So it's, again, when the fire moves away, it's his desire moving away or something like that, right? And it's a bad thing. But it's like this dilemma where, like, no matter what happens, it's a bad thing. So the fire moves away and she's like, oh, this sucks because the passion's gone or whatever. Yeah. But then when the fire's here too, it's a bad thing. We need to get the fuck out of the danger of the fire. So this, whatever the fire is both good and bad within the same thing. Mm-hmm. The same instantiation. I can't believe we finished Only Skin.
I don't know what else to say.
No. No, I don't either. Other than we are both super sad to have only one more song left on East to go. That is insane.
And we don't have like a super solid plan as to what we're going to do next. I think we said that we might do like the album artwork, and then Nikki suggested Colleen, and then have one on me. It would also be nice to, and I'll just put this out there, if anyone has questions about Yeast in its entirety, please shoot them our way. I would love to keep digging into this album as a whole. If you feel like we missed something in any of the songs, if there's something that you don't understand that we didn't fill up with our opinion, or like give you some more straight up facts about, please let us know. And you can.
We'll be happy to attempt answers.
Yeah, we are still holding on tight to this album with both hands. So if there's anything else that you're curious about, you can send questions to our email address, which is questions, suggestions, interpretations, whatever. Our email is ahopelessendeavor, ENDEAVOR @gmail.com. I run our Instagram, and it is A Hopeless Endeavor Podcast. Nikki runs our Facebook page, which is
A Hopeless Endeavor, the Joanna Newsom podcast. I think that's it.
If you are still here, thank you.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for indulging our just obsession, and please engage with us. Let us know what you think. But yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.